This is Chapter 7, Lesson 5, Surface Area of Cylinders. Number 1 says determine the total surface area of each cylinder and then round to the nearest tenth. Remember, when you're looking for the total surface area, you're looking for the area of each piece and then adding it all together. Your formula is going to start with 2 pi RH. Then you're going to have plus 2 pi r squared. For number 1, you have the radius is 2 and the height is 4. So you're going to replace your r with, or your radius with 2 and your height with 4. Remember, anytime you replace the variables with numbers, always put them in parentheses. Go ahead and input it in the calculator and get your answer. That should come out to about 75.39822, and it goes on forever and ever. But remember, because it's saying to the nearest tenths place, you need to make sure you're rounding correctly. So that 3 is your tenths place. So you're looking at the 9. Because it's 5 or more, this 3 becomes a 4. So your answer should be 75.4. For number 2, your radius is 1. So you're going to replace your r with 1. And your height for the cylinder is 7. So you're going to replace the h with 7. And then everything in blue just stays the same, so you'll rewrite it. And put that in your calculator and get yourself an answer. Comes out to about 50.26, which rounds to 50.3. For number 3, be careful with that one. That one gives you the diameter, which is the distance from tip to tip, from one end to the other. You only need the radius, which is half of that. So if the diameter is 3, then your radius is 1.5. And then your height was 6, so you leave it 6. And put that in your calculator and get an answer. Comes out to about 70.68, which rounds to 70.7. For number 4, they're giving you the diameter of 9.2, so make sure you divide that by 2 to get the radius, which comes out to 4.6. And then your height is 8.6. Go ahead and input that in the calculator. Should give you 381.5. Actually, it's 381.51, but of course that stays a 5, so 381.5. For number 5, your diameter is 16, which means your radius is going to be 8. And your height is 5. Okay, input that in the calculator. Should give you 653.45, which rounds to 653.5 centimeters squared. Number 6, they have the radius being 5.5, which I would just change that to a decimal, so 5.5. And the height is 8. Go ahead and input that in your calculator. Should give you 466.52, which rounds to 466.5. Number 7 says a cylindrical vase is 10 inches tall and has a diameter of 3 inches. Go ahead and draw that. Remember to be careful. If the diameter is 3 inches, you need to find the radius by cutting it in half. If the diameter is 3, the radius is 1.5. Then it says determine the surface area of the vase, round to the nearest tenth. It says hint, the top of the vase is open. What that means is when you write down your formula, it's still going to be 2. Hold on 1 second. Let me start with a new slide. It's still going to be 2 pi radius, because that's the circumference of the circle. And you're still going to multiply it by the height. But on the second part, instead of saying 2 pi r squared, because you're only finding the bottom part, you're not finding the top because it's open, you're not going to write down the number 2. So you're going to omit the number 2. It's just pi r squared. And that's going to be the area of the bottom part, not the top. Okay, go ahead and replace the variables with the numbers that are given and input that in your calculator. And that should give you 101.31 inches, which is going to round to 101.3. Okay, you're finished. Go ahead and flip it over and do the independent practice on your own. Good luck.